What's up, Razzmanites? I've got RotisserieiJamie and WWE TLC here, and it's time for the WWE TLC 2011 pay-per-view review. Today, on the Razzman's Reality. Alrighty, a butt ton of stuff to get into here for an absolutely amazing show. First match of the night, United States Championship, Dolph Ziggler defending against Zack Ryder, and the only thing I got to say is, woo, 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 you know it. Because finally, Zack Ryder is the United States Champion. So happy to see this happen because it's a win-win for everybody. Zack Ryder gets his spot that he deserves. Dolph Ziggler gets to move up into the main event scene, which he deserves. What's you guys' thoughts?
I'm so happy Zack Ryder won, and the crowd went insane. The crowd was like, there's a fan in front. Oh, his dad was there, but he was going crazy too. But I was seeing everyone's reaction. It was so funny. They were so happy. I was happy too. But it was actually a really good match too, so.
Yeah, the Long Island IC definitely deserved this. It was like Jamie said, a very good match. We get a really good match on top of Zack Ryder winning. You know, it's just an awesome opener. And finally we get to see the Ryder Revolution finally take off.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was an amazing match and the right match to have as the opener. Next match was an unannounced match. Air Boom defending the tag team titles against Primo and Epico.
Primo still has a job.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking at first. But what I was about to say was Primo and Epico actually showed me something. They've got real potential as a tag team. Like, I could see this feud actually turning into something. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Epico and Primo last night, I thought it was just a tag team that, you know, they thrown together.
Me too.
Just to, you know, have, you know, lose against Air Boom. Well, I didn't really expect Air Boom to win anyway, considering I thought they were gonna further punish Evan Bourne for smoking synthetic marijuana. But
they actually didn't screw up his push though at all, which is good. Because Evan Bourne deserves to be where he is. He doesn't deserve to job, you know, like he used to.
Yeah, not at all. And Epico and Primo, like I said, I didn't think they'd become something, but last night it was pretty cool. They were surprising me.
Like, they put up a good fight.
Yeah, they work well as a tag team, and I hope that they don't disband them like they have every other tag team. But yeah, it was a good match, and Air Boom retained, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a win-win for everybody because Air Boom's push isn't over, and like I said, Primo and Epico really showed me something, so please, for goodness sake, just don't screw it up, WWE. Let there be a tag team division that's actually worth something for once in your life.
I miss the tag team division when it used to be good.
Yeah, so do I. That's why I said that. Okay, your next match was supposed to be the Intercontinental title match, but Cody Rhodes does the first of 2 attacks on the night, so your next match actually ends up being a second straight unannounced match. Divas Championship, Beth against Kelly. I was surprised by how long this lasted. Like, the only thing I can say about it was actually a pretty decent length for a Divas Championship match.
I thought it would be over in like a few minutes, and this match was going to be like awful. I mean, it wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was okay. Like, I love Beth Phoenix and Natalya, but like, I love to see them wrestle, but the divas that they put up against them don't interest me. So I want to see them wrestle, Natalya and Beth, but I can't put myself through the match. I can't sit there and watch it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Natalya and Beth are the best talents in the division, but they put them against girls. Sorry, I almost said guys. They put them against girls that aren't in their league. Although I will say, just to be objective, I think Kelly has dramatically improved as an in-ring performer.
Oh, I want to point out that she would not shut up during the match. She was screaming the whole time. I could hear her from the kitchen, and the volume wasn't even up that loud. She's so loud. All the divas always scream during the match. It's like they're being murdered, and it's really annoying. Sorry, I just felt like pointing that out.
I say the reason that they scream and stuff like that to make the match more dramatic, when it, in fact, makes it more annoying. That's what I noticed about Kevin Nash in his match. Kevin Nash, on every hit, he would, grunt really loud. And it was so annoying. But, Beth Phoenix and Kelly, there was a point in this match where I thought Kelly was going to regain back the title, and I was like, no, because
there was too. Yeah, I agree with that.
I was going to punch this computer screen. I was just like, okay, Beth Phoenix better not lose, or I'm going to kill someone.
The only way that would have made sense, like in that point that Brendan was talking about, when it looked like Kelly was going to win back the title, I was like, okay, this kind of makes sense because Karma can return. But then I thought more and more about it. I was like, she's not going to return because she literally just had her kid. She's not going to return that quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that Beth Phoenix retained. Eve Torres should never hold the title. Kelly should never wear the title. The Belly should never wear the title. Alicia Fox should never be.
Okay, let's just say most of the divas shouldn't wear the title.
Yeah, I completely agree. But that's where your problem is, because you've only got like 3 credible divas in the entire company, and one of them is on sick leave for being a mom. So, you have a real issue here. So what they really should do, if we want to get into the subject for a second, they are sitting on someone who's a really good in-ring talent, and people don't know it because she just pops up on SmackDown like once every 3 weeks, and people are like, where'd she come from again? But I'm talking about AJ Lee. AJ Lee is a phenomenal in-ring talent. If you've ever seen her work, she's adorable, yeah.
She's no homo or anything. She's so cute.
Yeah, she is cute. But the thing is, if you've ever seen her work in FCW, she is a phenomenal little wrestler. I mean, she can do things in the ring that you would normally see, high-flying guys do. So if they're smart...
And the other thing is... Sorry to interrupt you guys, but the other thing is, though... Some of the divas are really talented, but they don't let them show off their talent. So they just go out there, and the match is like 1 or 2 minutes long. It's kind of a waste of the time. So
AJ Lee is. I was actually going to mention her. I'm glad you brought her up, Raz. AJ Lee is an amazing talent, and she's very underrated. She's like Trent Beretta. Trent Beretta's an amazing talent too. He's just never shown at all, except on NXT. They're wanting to do a feud now where Caitlyn is gonna turn heel against AJ and join the Divas of Doom. So,
but Caitlyn's a nothing talent too, so it's like, why do I care? But anyway, we're getting off on side subjects. We can do, if you guys and gals want, put in my comment box down below. Tell me if you want me to bring these guys on to the next episode of Wrestling the Way It Ought to Be.
Yes, you do.
So we can expand on some of this
Yes, you guys want to hear us talk.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah. We'll let the fans decide, but I'm pretty sure they will say yes. I agree.
Well, they're saying yes, so.
Okay, well, next up, I'm losing track of the card right now because we got off such a tangent. I think, wasn't next Triple H versus Kevin Nash?
I don't remember.
That's the next match?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Triple H versus Kevin Nash in a sledgehammer ladder match. I've said it before and I said it again. Stupidest gimmick I've ever heard. But for both guys being past their prime, Kevin Nash especially, he has way more in the tank than I ever expected him to have. And this turned into a pretty decent match. It wasn't a 5-star match, but I can give it 4 stars. 3.5 maybe. But it was pretty darn good.
It was actually, it wasn't a bad match at all. You know, for the match that it was put out to be, it really wasn't that bad. And everyone, well, most people thought that this wasn't going to be a good match. Cause, you know, like you said, they're way past their prime and Nash is really old and they actually didn't put on a bad match.
No, they really didn't. I'm not surprised that Triple H went over, but because everybody expected him to, but it just really turned into a much better match than anyone expected, I think. Brandon, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. I want you guys to think about for a minute the word sledgehammer ladder match. That is the most hilarious thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's why I said it's most stupid asinine gimmick I've ever heard, because you've got two guys that are past their prime. By the way, I'm sorry if you heard background noise a minute ago. My dog is being let outside. But anyway, you've got two guys that are past their prime. One who has absolutely no business climbing a ladder, because it's like you said in your WWE 12 review on your channel, Brennan, which, by the way, if you didn't know, all the channels will be down below in the description box. But it's like you said in your review, Kevin Nash, I was afraid that when he climbed the ladder, he would just break his bone every time. I mean, he's literally that brittle.
You know what I want to point out? It's just really random, but from the back, doesn't Kevin Nash look like The Undertaker?
A little bit with the black hair. But
when Nash came back, I thought it was Taker at first from the back, but then I saw Kevin Nash's face, and I'm just like, yeah, he's too ugly to be Taker. No offense.
Yeah, but, I was a big criticizer of this match. Mainly Kevin Nash. I was a big criticizer of Kevin Nash, but Nash actually did one thing in this match that impressed me, and that's about it, and he did a table spot. I never thought that Kevin Nash would do a table spot.
Yeah, at his age,
I was going to kill himself when he did that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was definitely what we thought was going to be the holy crap moment of the night, but we weren't exactly right about that.
Nope.
Because, next up, World Heavyweight Championship on the line. It was everything you expected in another match between Big Show and Mark Henry to be completely pointless. They even dragged it out a little further by having, Big Show at the start of the match did a ridiculous thing where he dumped every single chair in the ring. You knew that they were just trying to kill time. I'm like, just get it over with.
Doesn't that remind you of ECW when all the fans
actually, you know what?
All the chairs in the ring?
Yeah, we accidentally skipped a match because it wasn't advertised, so I'll go back and talk about that in a second, but let's just continue our thoughts here. Jamie, go ahead.
The match, Mark Henry versus Big Show, I really didn't want to see this match, so I kind of I went upstairs to brush my teeth and then came back down and sort of watched it, and I really wasn't into this match. It was kind of boring. And when Big Show won, I was having a fit. I'm just like, I don't want either of these guys to be champion. And then the crowd started chanting Daniel Bryan, and then Daniel Bryan came out, and I was just like, oh my god, I was having a heart attack. And I thought, please don't cash in and then lose. And I was crossing my fingers, please win. And when he won, the crowd just went insane. I went insane too.
Yeah, I know. It was.
Who expected that?
I mean, Simon Michael HT, for those of you that missed it, I participated in the pre-show for Wrestling Passion Crew for TLC, so go and check out that video. Link to that will be in the description box as well. But he asked the question at the end of the show, he said, is Daniel Bryan going to cash in TLC? And I said no. I just didn't expect it to happen. I thought Daniel Bryan was actually being built as a challenger for WrestleMania. But now, to have him be champion at WrestleMania, that's even better. I mean, it saved an absolutely horrible match with one of the best moments of my life.
I was just about to say that, too.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Bryan, if you don't know who he is and what his history is, then I will say that you're a brand new fan that hasn't been watching wrestling for very long, because everybody knows that this guy struggled for, I want to say 12, 13 years before he even got into WWE. So this has been a moment that people that are fans of him have been waiting their whole life to see.
He worked his ass off to get where he is.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
And there's nobody in the entire company that deserves it more than Daniel Bryan. And before Brendan starts, I just want to get one more thing out, and then I'll let Brendan finish the whole World Heavyweight title thought picture. But the only thing that bothers me about it is who Daniel Bryan cashed in on. Daniel Bryan should have cashed in on Mark Henry, not the Big Show, because what this has done has opened the door for Big Show to turn heel and feud with Daniel Bryan. And I personally don't think the Big Show works as a heel. That's
Big Show, I don't like Big Show in general, but Brennan, you should talk.
Yeah, the Big Show and Mark Henry are two entertaining guys. They're not athletic one bit, but they can definitely entertain you. They definitely put on a good show, because they tell a story, and what better thing to do in WWE than tell a story. But this match kind of went the way you expected it. Kind of slow. Big Show ended up teasing that he broke his hand, and he beat Mark Henry. Then Daniel Bryan music hits. He comes out with the briefcase, gets the 1, 2, 3 on the Big Show, and like Raz and Jamie said, he worked. He came up in the Indies, came up in ROH, worked it finger to the bone, putting in pedal to the metal full force, and it was finally his time to shine, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable,
they're catering to the
amazing
YWC,
moment.
it's
And before we get off this, we'll talk about what you just said at the end, Jamie. I want to save that to the end because it's an important point to wrap things up with. But before we get off the World Heavyweight Championship, we also have to mention, just because it's so fun, Michael Cole had the worst night ever. Because Zack Ryder beat Dolph Ziggler, then Daniel Bryan, who he absolutely cannot stand, became world champion. Daniel Bryan got up in Cole's face. Cole's reaction, the way he was saying, no, the whole time. It was just the greatest thing ever. I loved it.
Now we're never going to hear him stop talking.
Yeah.
He's going to be complaining all Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that's the only bad part, but for last night it was cool. I loved it.
Yeah, Michael Cole, definitely, he had one of the worst nights ever. Even Jerry Lawler mentioned it. Jerry Lawler's like, "You're not having a very good night, are you?" And it was just funny. Michael Cole plays up the heel character extremely well. I'm a fan of Michael Cole, the character.
Yeah, who isn't? He's pretty good at what he does for being an annoying announcer. He's pretty darn good.
Well, that means he's being a good heel.
But yeah, just an absolutely amazing moment with Daniel Bryan, and I hope that he has a long title reign. He needs to go all the way through WrestleMania, at the very least, as world champion, if not longer. But moving on to the match that we accidentally skipped over, which is the unadvertised match of Jack Swagger versus Sheamus. This was an okay match. I was surprised how well Jack Swagger looked. Again, Sheamus maybe, just maybe, this is a sign that they haven't completely forgot about Jack Swagger. And Jack Swagger is actually going to start getting pushed again, which I would love to see. But yeah, Sheamus goes over in the match, and like I said, just an okay match.
I really wasn't into the match at all, though. Like, it was okay. You know, it wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
But at least they're doing something with Swagger.
Yeah, Jack Swagger's a good talent that they're absolutely wasting. WWE had absolutely nothing to do with him. The last credible thing he did was his World Heavyweight title reign, and I don't think you can even call that credible, because
and he went completely downhill from there.
Yeah, his title reign sucked.
It did. Because they pushed him too far, too quick. I mean, and Sheamus is the same way. Look how long it took Sheamus to turn himself around. He had to turn face.
Yeah. And I remember, sorry Raz, I remember when the spoiler hit the internet and he cashed in on a Friday, and obviously everyone's, well, you know what I mean, he cashed in on SmackDown, and obviously we're all going to get the spoilers, and so it kind of ruined that too.
Yeah, well, and plus he cashed in on the wrong guy. I mean, Christian was absolutely, Chris Jericho. You know, anytime Chris Jericho loses, that does not sit well with me. But I just had to throw that in there just for fun.
I just have a tantrum.
But anyway, yeah, hopefully Jack Swagger will become relevant again, at least on a mid-card level. You know, he would be the perfect guy if Dolph Ziggler's going to move in the main event scene where he belongs. Jack Swagger would be the perfect guy to be the next challenger for Zack Ryder for the U.S. title. Do you guys not agree with that?
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully that's a sign of things to come with him. Alright, then we have, ironically enough, the Intercontinental Championship match. And I say ironically enough because you would never expect the Intercontinental title to be put after the World Heavyweight title. But I think the reason they did it is A, because they knew the Daniel Bryan thing was going to happen, so he would have to have a celebration. And B, they knew how long the main event was going to be. And C, I think the other part of it is what everybody's been saying. Cody Rhodes is actually bringing the Intercontinental title back to relevance. The Intercontinental title actually does mean that you are the next anointed guy to be a main eventer right now, which I love. And Booker T looked really good in this match, especially considering the fact that he had to sell not one but two sneak attacks by Cody Rhodes through the night. I was really surprised by how good he still looked, because last time we saw him was about a year ago in the ring in TNA. So, yeah, it was a good match, and I think it served its purpose. It wasn't a great match, and I'm still not completely sold that Booker T is the right guy to put Cody Rhodes over, but at least that's what Booker T did. He put Cody Rhodes over.
I agree with that. So, it was a decent match, and Booker T did pretty good since we haven't seen him wrestle in a while. I mean, if you don't watch TNA, you haven't seen Booker T wrestle in forever. But I thought Cody Rhodes was awesome in that match. I love Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes did absolutely the best thing. And on SmackDown, in my opinion, he's just a great character, and, you know, I'm glad he got, like I said in the radio show, I'm glad he got rid of the mask, because, like I said then, he was getting stale with the mask, but, him going over Booker T definitely needed to happen, and, like Raz said, he is definitely anointed to be the next, World Heavyweight Champion, because he brought relevancy back, again, to echo what Brad said, he brought relevancy back to the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, so, all in all, it was a good match, and I completely apologize, everyone. We're doing this from memory because everybody's already seen the pay-per-view, but because of schedules, obviously, we couldn't get it up until the day after. And this card I'm looking at is an absolute jumbled mess, and we accidentally skipped completely over Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton. So let's cover that real quick.
Oh my gosh.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton. And the tables match was a pretty good match, and I think it did what it needed to do. It made Wade Barrett look really good. The only problem I have with it is Randy Orton went over Wade Barrett. I just don't think that should have happened. The only thing that can happen now, because we've done this out of order, we can actually talk about this now and not have to wait till the end. The only reason I think that they may have had Wade Barrett lose this match is because they're setting up Wade Barrett to be the Royal Rumble winner. Because when you think about it, Wade Barrett is the perfect choice to go against Daniel Bryan for the world title at WrestleMania, because they have all their history from the Nexus and NXT, and now they're both believable as main eventers.
And it would be two new faces in the main event scene, which would be awesome.
Yeah, so
instead of Randy Orton and Cena always in the main event, someone totally different like Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan, which they are good wrestlers. And this match I really did enjoy, except for what you said about Randy Orton winning. I love Randy Orton to death, and he's so hot, but I didn't want him to win. I wanted Wade Barrett to win.
Yeah, as soon as Randy... Now, granted, that RKO through the table was awesome.
That was an awesome
spot. It was an awesome RKO.
That was an
RKO, but again, it's, it's typical Orton. RKO out of nowhere every freaking match.
Yeah, Randy Orton wins with an RKO out of nowhere, like you said, every single match. And Wade Barrett needed to win this match, but it still made Wade Barrett look good, this match did. But Wade Barrett needed this win, very badly. So, I just thought it was ridiculous that once again Randy Orton did not want to put anybody over himself, so.
Yeah. Well, again, I go back to the point, and it's worth thinking about, are they setting up for Ultimate Revenge? Because for anybody that doesn't know, the Royal Rumble this year is in St. Louis, Missouri, which is Randy Orton's hometown, so I could see Randy Orton being one of the last 3 or 4 guys along with Wade Barrett, and Wade Barrett actually eliminating Randy Orton on his way to winning the Royal Rumble. That's the ultimate in revenge, and everybody wins because Randy Orton gets out of the main event scene and Wade Barrett gets into the main event scene. So that's the only reasonable explanation, so hopefully that's where they're going with it. What do you think, Jamie?
Sorry, what?
I was saying, what do you think about the possibility of the reason that they did it is because the Royal Rumble is in St. Louis, Missouri, so they're actually setting it up to where Wade Barrett cost Randy Orton a shot at the world title by winning the Royal Rumble in Randy Orton's hometown.
I agree with that. That'd be cool.
So, and Brennan, I think you already chimed in, didn't you?
Yeah,
he agreed. Sorry folks, this has turned into a jumbled mess, but, I figure you guys love the roundtables on the radio show, so why not just do one for a pay-per-view review, because it's fun to do. So, we end it with the WWE Championship TLC match. Phenomenal match. I'm still not a fan of Del Rio. Never will be, as long as he's playing the gimmick that he plays. But all 3 guys, Miz, Del Rio, and Punk, look absolutely phenomenal in this match. And the ending of the match in particular is something I've never seen before. CM Punk tied to the turnbuckle while
I thought he was going to actually lose, and I was going to have a fit.
Yeah, I thought he was going to lose there for a minute too. But, he's handcuffed to the turnbuckle, and he actually takes the ring apart. Takes the second turnbuckle down from the ring. I mean, that shows how strong CM Punk is, because it usually takes 2 or 3 guys to put up the ring. It doesn't take one. So I've never seen that happen before, where the ring gets taken apart to end the match. And then, Punk ends up kicking The Miz, and The Miz had already taken out Del Rio, and Del Rio was out of commission, and CM Punk climbs the ladder and retains the title. So, just
I actually thought he was going to lose. At some parts, I thought he was going to lose, and I was going to have a fit, and I'm just like, come on, CM Punk. And when he won, I calmed down and just like, okay.
Yeah, well, that's But what that is the match doing its job. It's meant to make you think that it can go to anybody anyway. And all three guys look good. You know, I said it last week, Friday, but it was technically still last week, but it was only a few days ago. I said it during Wrestling the Way It Ought to Be. I was afraid that Miz was going to start turning into an irrelevant factor. Like, I didn't know what they were going to do with him. But he still looked really good in this match. And if they somehow made it work where he played more of a face, The Miz, and Miz feuded with Del Rio, I think Del Rio and The Miz could actually have a really good non-title feud.
I love Miz as a heel, though. Just the way his cocky attitude. I love The Miz.
I do, but I think
love him more, though.
I do think that too, what you said, but I just think there's kind of a little bit of a potential thing happening there with The Miz and Del Rio as a future feud. So, Brennan, what's your opinion?
This match was absolutely amazing. It got that match got a 5 out of 5 stars, in my opinion. And the best spot in the match didn't even go to anybody in the match. It went to Ricardo Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
Ricardo Rodriguez fell off of a ladder onto a table, and they showed it from above. They showed the camera from above when he fell, and it looked like the most brutalest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Thank God Ricardo Rodriguez is actually an independent wrestler and knows how to take a bump. I mean, thank God for that, because he killed himself.
Yeah,
and I wanted to say that this pay-per-view catered so much to the IWC. Like, we are going insane. Zack Ryder is a new U.S. champ. CM Punk retained. And Daniel Bryan is the new World Heavyweight Champion. And no Cena. And the fact that Cena was actually not in the main event, and he was actually not in the title picture. So that is just awesome. I thought Cena was gonna come out at the end and I was gonna have a fit, but he didn't, and I was so surprised. Like he was trending on Twitter, no Cena, like the crowd, like the IWC was going insane. Twitter was just going insane. So I enjoyed this pay-per-view. That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was going to end the video with that. So real quick, before I continue with what Jamie said, Brandon, did you have any more thoughts that you wanted to get out about the match itself?
No, get that. It was an amazing match. And,
it was the match of the year. I mean, other than Punk versus Cena, Money in the Bank in WWE, this was arguably the WWE match of the year. I mean, it was that good, people. If you didn't see it, find a way to see it. See it anywhere you can, because it was that good. And what I want to say is to echo exactly what Jamie said. This was the pay-per-view of the year, because we got everything we could have possibly wanted. We got phenomenal matches all the way through. Even the ho-hum matches were okay. They weren't complete throwaway, make no sense matches. They actually lasted a decent amount of time and entertained you all the way through. And on top of that, you got a 5-star match to end the pay-per-view, and everyone that deserved to go over went over. Zack Ryder is the new U.S. champ. Daniel Bryan shocked the world, is the world champion, and CM Punk is still WWE champion. So,
no Cena.
And Cena was nowhere to be found, which I keep forgetting to mention that because I'm honestly still in shock by it. I knew that Cena wasn't booked for this card, but I was like, come on, it's John Cena, it's WWE. They're gonna find something for him to do. Like, I half expected him to be named the special guest referee for the opener between Ziggler and Ryder. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but when it didn't, I was like, maybe we actually are going to get through a pay-per-view without John Cena, and we did.
And it actually shows
and you know what?
You have a good pay-per-view without Cena. Like,
exactly. That's what I was just about to say. The world didn't collapse. The world didn't come to an end. Take note, WWE. If John Cena wants time off, guess what? you can give him time off because you prove that you can put on a good show without him. Arguably the show of the year without John Cena. I firmly will. I will say
this pay-per-view was the IWC's dream. Like this pay-per-view was meant for the IWC.
Yeah. Before we kick it to Brendan to end it, I'm just gonna go on record right now and say that for me, this was the WWE pay-per-view of the year. I mean, Money in the Bank was a phenomenal pay-per-view, and feeling-wise, it can't be duplicated, but as far as card-wise and everybody that went over, this was the WWE pay-per-view of the year. And to think about that it's the final pay-per-view of the year, I mean, how great does that make 2012 look?
I know, it ended the pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, it ended the year with a bang, with just a great pay-per-view.
Yeah, TLC ended the year on a high note, and something has to be said for the writers and stuff and WWE Creative, because, you know, we criticize WWE Creative so much, you know, but, you know, they really, really did their homework for this pay-per-view, and, you know, it showed. And, you know, like Jamie said, the YWC flipped out because it was just such a pay-per-view that was catered toward them. I don't know if they had it in mind as such. I don't know if they were thinking, you know, let's put on a good show for the IWC, but that's what happened.
And they didn't cater to the casual fans like they usually do. They put on a great show. So I am very happy.
Yeah.
Can't wait till 2012 with all these returns happening too. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it was an amazing, amazing, show. And if you're wondering, folks, by the way, everybody knows that is watching on my channel, they know my videos are normally high def, and I don't normally do audio videos either. But with 3 people, audio videos are just easier, and because of the length of this video, I needed to make the file size as small as I could, so that's why it's in standard def. But hopefully the video entertained you guys, and you don't even care about visual quality at this point. So thank you both for being here. This was like an impromptu version of the Razman's reality radio show. So if you're entertained by this, make sure you tune in to the WWE pay-per-view roundtables that we do every month, because that's basically what we do before pay-per-view ends. And you know what? This went so well. I said it before about putting them back on wrestling the way it ought to be for more topics, but do you guys want me to turn the roundtables into a video for actual pay-per-view reviews? Because I really like the way this went and everything, and it ended up being insanely long, mostly because I didn't have the right card and we jumbled around a bit, but I really like the way this turned out. So viewers, go ahead and let me know down below if you want this roundtable thing to actually happen for all my reviews, because I really enjoyed it. But yeah, if you didn't know, Brendan's back. Obviously you heard him, so go and resub to him, or sub to him for the first time. Go and follow him on Twitter, follow Jamie on Twitter, like Jamie on Facebook, subscribe to both their channels. Everything will be down below in the description box, except for my stuff, because you all know my stuff. The only thing of mine will be down below will be the Facebook fan page. But yeah, like the Facebook fan page if you haven't, and we're out. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style, it's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.